Condensed Bat-Supe in 30 seconds. The following podcast features themes of racial and religious discrimination and political corruption. Listeners should be aware that some language used in the original broadcast includes slurs and prejudiced terms that were sadly common in the post-war era, but do not reflect our values today and are presented for historical context. While important to confront, this content may be upsetting. Listener discretion is advised.
The following is transcribed.
Welcome to Condensed Bat-Supe. Now with 66% fewer superheroes than our regular podcast, which makes Condensed Bat-Supe even less nutritious, but still just as delicious. We're featuring episodes of the adventures of Superman without the caped crusaders. Tie on your capes for lots of shocking language, plenty of clandestine planning, and improvisational entrapment galore. In this edition of Condensed Bat-Supe, we proudly present Chapter 13 of George Latimer, Crooked Political Boss, as originally broadcast on September 19th, 1946.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, Governor Wheeler makes an amazing confession to Clark Kent, and Big George Latimer proves a formidable opponent even for Superman.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. Say, do you feel like galloping into the breakfast table in the morning? Or do you just kind of amble in at a slow trot? Well, believe you me, if you know there's a bowl of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, waiting for you, you'll get there in record time. Because speed's the word when you're heading for those crisp, golden whole wheat flakes of Pep. They're that delicious, that full of smooth, catchy flavor, that fun to eat. And say, while we're in the fun department, just take a look inside your next package of Pep for your prize. See which one of the 3 different kinds of prizes you get. Maybe it'll be a model fighting plane in colored cardboard, one of 7 great Pep planes you can collect. Or maybe it'll be a bird picture in brilliant color with a full description on the reverse side. You can collect 24 of them. Or maybe it'll be a bright-colored comic button picturing a favorite comic strip character, 18 in all, to pin on your jacket or your beanie cap. And whether it's a plane or a bird or a button, you keep right on having fun when you're collecting the 3 different kinds of prizes in packages of Pep. So get going, gang. Ask Mom to get you a supply of Kellogg's Pep tomorrow.
And now, the adventures of Superman. Returning to the Daily Planet after rescuing Sam Robbins, a young war veteran, from a gang of intolerant hate-mongers, Clark Kent told Editor Perry White,
I'm going to prove that Governor Wheeler, or Big George Latimer, the state political boss, was responsible for the shooting of Joe Martin, and that Sam Robbins was framed for the crime. I'm also going to prove that Sam was sent upstate deliberately to be lynched.
Just then, Kent received a phone call from the governor's secretary, who said that the governor wished to see him at once on a matter of great importance. In the library of his mansion on the Capitol grounds, Governor Wheeler bolted the door of his library, then startled Kent by saying,
Kent, I'm about to commit suicide.
Stunned, Kent was, for a moment, unable to move. But as we continue now, he leaps forward and grasps the governor by the arms. Listen.
Don't talk like that, Governor. Taking your own life isn't the way out. It's never the way
Taking
out.
my life? Oh, no, I didn't mean that.
What?
I meant I intend to commit political suicide.
Political Oh, whew, you had me scared there for a moment.
I'll admit I thought of the other, but as you say, that isn't the way out.
No.
And now I want to make a clean breast of things, even though it'll ruin my career, and I want you to make it public through you and from the Daily Planet.
Well, I respect you for that, Governor. Go ahead.
All right. First of all, the war veterans were right when they accused me of practicing racial and religious discrimination in awarding state jobs.
I thought so.
I didn't want to do it, Kent, believe me. I've always held that there's nothing more foul or more unfair than discriminating against a man because of his race or his church.
You're right, there isn't. Why did you do it?
George Latimer forced me to.
Big George? Well, how could he? You're the chief
I
executive.
know what you're going to say. I could have defied him.
Well, yes.
Well, perhaps I could have for a short while, but, well, I was weak and ambitious. I knew that if I defied Big George, he would break me politically.
So you sold out your conscience and the Bill of Rights you swore to defend.
Don't rub it in, Kent. I've suffered enough already for what I've done, particularly tonight when I learned what almost happened to Sam Robbins. If he'd been lynched, I would have been one of his murderers, just as surely as if I had personally struck him down.
Then why did you send him to Grant City when you knew that area is a hotbed of intolerant fanatics, ex-German Bundists, and all-around bigoted crackpots? You must have known Sam's life wouldn't be worth a nickel in that lunatic's paradise.
Well, I should have been aware of that, but I honestly didn't think of it that way until you called it to my attention. You see, I'm so accustomed to accepting George Latimer's suggestion.
You mean Latimer told you to send Sam upstate?
Yes, he did.
Ah, now we're getting down to cases. Tell me this, Governor. Did you also, at Latimer's suggestion, shoot Joe Martin and then frame Sam Robbins for it?
I shoot Joe Martin? Oh, of course not.
Latimer did it himself?
Why, wherever did you get such a preposterous notion?
There's nothing preposterous about it. One of you or someone with you on the Capitol steps shot Joe Martin, making it easy to frame Sam Robbins for the shooting.
No,
Latimer said he saw Sam pull a gun during the veterans' demonstration. He was lying, wasn't he?
Yes, George practically admitted to me that he didn't see Robbins pull a gun.
All right. Did he admit that he had Lippy Williams, the late Clarion reporter, plant the gun in Sam's house?
No, but good heavens, Mr. Kent, that must have been what they were keeping from me. Williams started to say something that fitted in just with what you've said, and George stopped him. That was just the other day when George was telling him what to write in the Clarion.
I see.
You must be right, then. George must have... No, that's impossible. He wouldn't. He couldn't go that far.
Oh, no? He went so far as to send Sam to Grant City knowing he'd be lynched, didn't he?
Well, yes.
And I think he shot Joe Martin, or had him shot. Wait a minute. Was there anyone else on the Capitol steps with you and Latimer during the GI demonstration? Besides the state troopers, I mean.
Let me think. No, I believe not. Wait, Briggs was there.
Briggs?
Yes, my secretary, but I'm sure he didn't do it. George treats him like a servant, and Briggs loathes him. Besides, he's a very nice, quiet little fellow.
All right, then it must have been Latimer himself. But how are we going to prove it? If he hadn't killed Lippy Williams, we might get the truth there, but
You think George murdered Williams?
Yes, sure. Williams was a smart aleck, and I don't think Latimer would let him live knowing how much he knew. Oh, there must be some way. Wait a minute. Governor Wheeler, you said you wanted to make restitution for what you've done.
Yes, of course.
All right. Will you help me get the goods on Big George Latimer?
Well, how can I do that?
I've got an idea. Now, you said he admitted to you that he didn't see Sam Robbins pull a gun.
Well, he practically admitted it.
Okay, get him to admit it again. Try to make him admit other things. Tell him you're worried. You've got to know where you stand. Threaten to go to the police unless he tells you everything.
But that's ridiculous, Kent. Even if he admitted anything to me, it would only be my word against his. You certainly don't think I could get him to confess such things in public, do you?
No, but if your private conversation were recorded, that would be all the proof we'd need.
Recorded?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
I'll install a listening device right here in your library. Say, right behind that American flag on the wall. Now, you tell Latimer you've got to see him and bring him here. Get him to talk. And I'll do the rest.
Wait.
Look, Governor, George Latimer showed us that he won't stop at murder in order to spread racial and religious intolerance. This is the only way we can possibly prove what he is and stop him before much worse things happen in this state. Don't you see, Governor?
All right, Kent. I'll cooperate with you.
Good. Okay, now, when can you get Latimer here?
Well, it's pretty late. Probably not before tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Excuse me, I'll see what that
Yes,
is.
sir.
Yes, who is it?
It's Briggs, Mr. Governor.
1 minute. What is it, Briggs?
Mr. Latimer is here, sir.
What? Mr. Latimer?
Yes, sir. He says he's leaving town for a week or two and wishes to see you before he goes. He's downstairs at the moment.
Uh-oh. Does he know I'm here?
No, Mr. Kent. The governor explained to me that your visit is highly confidential.
Good.
Well, what'll we do, Kent, if he's leaving town?
We've got to get this job done before he leaves town.
But how?
I know how. Briggs, will you please tell Mr. Latimer that the governor will be down at once?
Shall I, sir?
Why, yes, I suppose so, but I don't
Trust me, Governor, please.
Oh, very well. Go on, Briggs.
Yes, sir.
But Kent...
Just a moment. All right. Now listen, Governor. You go downstairs and meet Latimer. Stall him along for 5 minutes. Then bring him up here and get him to talk.
But why? I don't understand. We planned...
Give me 5 minutes. When you come back here with Latimer, the listening device will be installed.
Well, all right, but still I don't see...
Please, Governor, go ahead.
Oh, very well, Kent.
Good, he's gone. Now, out of these clothes. If only Candy Myers is home, and if only he still has that listening device. This is the only way I know to trap Latimer. The only way. Here we are, all set. Now for a quick trip as Superman. Up at this window. Out and away!
Leaping out into the night sky, Superman streaks away with but 5 minutes to arrange his pep for Big George Latimer. We'll return in a moment for the tense climax of today's episode. So stand by.
You know, gang, it sure steps up the fun of collecting prizes when you know that you can get not just one prize, but 49 different top-notch prizes right in packages of Kellogg's Pep. Yes, sir. You'll find a prize in every package. And there are 3 different kinds of prizes you may find there. For instance, you may find one of 18 different comic buttons, each picturing a favorite comic strip character. Or you may find a colored cardboard model of a fighting plane, one of 7 exciting plane models in the series. Or you may get a gay-colored bird picture from a series of 24, each with a full description on the reverse side so that you can make like you're a regular bird expert. Now, that makes 49 different prizes you can collect, all of them strictly super. And that goes double for Pep itself. Why, the way Pep lets loose with the sunshine flavor is something terrific. Every single one of those crisp flakes of whole wheat gives you the business. Every spoonful stacks up the flavor. Every bowlful tickles you plenty in the taste department. No fooling, Pep's a solid sender. So, well, what's keeping you, gang? Ask Mom for Kellogg's Pep, the sunshine cereal, and look for your prize inside the package.
Traveling with the speed of light, Superman has rocketed to the home of Clark Kent's friend Candy Myers, the private detective, secured the listening device, and streaked back to Governor Wheeler's mansion on the Capitol grounds. Now, working swiftly, he's just completing the installation of the device beneath the American flag on the wall of the governor's library when he hears the doorknob turn.
Uh-oh. Here come the governor and Latimer. Just drop the flag over the device. Like that. There we are. And out through the window. Away!
What was that?
Huh?
What was that, Frank? Didn't you hear it?
No, I...
Sounded like a terrific wind. Not suddenly. I'll close the window. There. Well, as I was saying, Frank, I'm going out of town for a week or 2. Elections are coming up, you know, and I've got to stir up the boys. Make sure you get the votes in and you get them in the right way. You know what I mean.
I know, George. Look, I'm glad you dropped in. I want to talk to you.
Really? About what?
Oh, about Sam Robbins and other things.
What about Robbins?
Well, I want to ask you some questions about him, George, and I want you to answer truthfully.
Why, certainly, Frank. I'll be happy to tell you anything as long as we're alone. What do you want to know?
Well, Robbins didn't shoot Joe Martin, did he?
Of course he did.
Oh, come now, George. He didn't, and you know it.
I don't know any such thing. Yeah, there's a mighty nice flag on the wall, Frank. Never really noticed it before.
Oh, never mind the flag. Answer my question. Who shot Joe Martin?
Why, I told
What
you.
are you doing to that flag?
Stripping it down. So I can get at this listening device underneath it.
No. Wait. Stop.
There. That takes care of that. Oh, you rotten double-crosser. You thought you could trap me, eh?
No, George. Now listen.
You want to know who shot Joe Martin, eh? Well, now I'll tell you. I shot him.
You did?
Yes. I did. Now, Frank, I'm going
No. Put that gun down, George.
I'll put it down when I'm finished with it. First, I'm going to use it on you, Mr. Governor.
Hailing, Governor Wheeler steps backward as Big George Latimer, political boss and man of hate, advances upon him. A revolver gripped in his big hand, cold fury in his eyes. How did Latimer know about the listening device hidden by Superman behind the flag? And what will happen to Governor Wheeler now? And to Clark Kent's plan to trap the murderous bigot? Tomorrow's episode is a thriller, so don't miss it. Tune in, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at this same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. Say, gang, when you think of famous names, do you think of Kellogg? You know, that's the greatest name in cereals. And Kellogg makes Kellogg's shredded wheat, the tender, plump biscuits made just the right size to fit your breakfast bowl. And are they good? Full to the brim with natural nut-sweet flavor. Good for you, too. They're made of nutritious whole wheat. What's more, Kellogg gives you 15 delicious biscuits in every package of Kellogg shredded wheat. Try them soon. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
And now, faster than a speeding bullet, Condensed Bat-Supe proudly presents Chapter 14 of George Latimer, Crooked Political Boss, which was originally broadcast on September 20th, 1946.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, the lax policies of weak-kneed Governor Wheeler backfire in his own face as he stands trapped, facing the menace of a loaded revolver held by George Latimer, political boss and man of hate.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. Say, did you ever meet up with a fella who kind of nibbles at his food? You know, like a slow-motion picture of a man eating? Well, if you've got any character like that around your breakfast table, just put him next to a bowl of Kellogg's Pep. Sure, you'd have a hard time finding anybody who wouldn't step up his pace while eating Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. That keen, catchy Pep flavor gets him time after time. Those crisp golden flakes of whole wheat taste so terrific that you get a bang out of every single spoonful. And say, who wouldn't get a bang out of those swell Pep prizes? 3 different kinds of prizes, one or the other in every package of Pep you open. For instance, you may find one of 24 keen bird pictures in gleaming bright colors with a full description on the reverse side to help you spot these birds in the air. Or you may find a colored cardboard model of a fighting plane. And all 7 model planes in the series are collector's items. Or your next Pep prize may be one of 18 bright-colored comic buttons picturing characters straight out of the funnies. So ask Mom to get you a supply of Kellogg's Pep and look for your prize inside the package.
And now, the adventures of Superman. Admitting that he had practiced racial and religious discrimination in awarding state jobs to war veterans, Governor Wheeler confessed to Clark Kent that he had done so at the command of Big George Latimer, the state political boss. Convinced by Kent that Latimer is not only interested in spreading hate and intolerance, but that he is a murderer as well, Wheeler agreed to help trap Latimer into a confession. Kent installed a microphone behind an American flag in Wheeler's library, attached it to a recording machine, and left before Latimer entered the room. But to Wheeler's amazement, Latimer strode to the flag and ripped it from the wall, revealing the microphone. Smashing it on the floor, the political boss produced a revolver and advanced on the governor, his cold eyes blazing with anger. Listen.
You tried a double cross, Frank.
Now, wait a minute,
You want me
George.
to tell you how Joe Martin was shot and how Sam Robbins was
George,
framed?
wait.
Maybe you're even going to ask me how Lippy Williams got his. It was all going through that microphone to be recorded by that machine Clark Kent rigged up. Whoa.
No, wait, George. Put that gun down.
I'll put it down after I've used it on you. You rotten double-crosser.
George, please, listen.
Listen to what? Are you trying to lie out of it?
No, I'm not going to lie. I'll admit everything. I did try to trap you.
You're telling me. I knew something was cooking the minute Briggs phoned me that you'd called Kent and told him to come over here tonight.
Briggs? He phoned you?
Of course. You didn't think it was working for you, did you? You ought to know you can't put anything over on me.
I guess I should have. But I feel better for having tried. The only thing I regret is that it didn't work.
Listen to the hero. The modern Nathan Hale, who's so sorry he has but one life to give for his country. Maybe Kent will put that under your picture in the Daily Planet tomorrow. The picture with the wide black border around it.
I'd rather have that as my last picture than the one you'll get in convict stripes and a number.
They'll never put a number on me.
I wouldn't be so cocky if I were in your place, George. You see, Kent knows you shot Joe Martin and framed Sam Robbins for it. And he knows you murdered Lippy Williams, the Clarion reporter, too.
Kent only thinks he knows. They can't prove a thing. Neither can anyone else.
That's where you're wrong. You think you're above the law, but you're making a mistake.
I never make mistakes. You should know that by now. You should have known better than to talk to Kent in the room where there's a fireplace, too.
Fireplace? What do you mean?
What, sucker? Briggs,
Yes, Mr. Latimer?
What?
come down here.
Yes, sir.
You see, Frank, the flue goes up the wall through the room above. All Briggs had to do was sit up there and listen to your conversation with Kent.
Oh.
You were a fool to turn on me, Frank. You were doing all right. I'd already made you governor. I was even thinking of running you for the Senate.
That doesn't matter to me. But I was a fool. Yes, I was a fool to hook up with you in the first place.
Is that so?
Certainly you only wanted to rub a stamp in the governor's chair. A stuffed shirt who would do anything you ordered. Even violate the Constitution to practice racial and religious discrimination.
So what? The Constitution doesn't give us the right to get rid of the foreigners. We'll take care of them our own way.
Foreigners?
And believe me...
You've changed the very meaning of the word. Why, to you, everyone who isn't a native-born white Protestant is a foreigner.
That's right, they are.
They are not, and you know it. This country was settled and built by people of many races and religions, all of whom came from foreign lands. The Constitution and Bill of Rights guarantees equality to all, regardless of what church they choose to attend.
Rubbish. I told you before to forget that stuff, but you wouldn't listen to me. No. You have to listen to punks like Clark Kent and the sentimentally stupid war veterans. Okay. So now you're going to pay for it.
I don't care.
Shut up.
You want me, Mr. Latimer?
Yes, Briggs. Is everyone out of the house?
Yes, sir. I sent all the servants home for the night. I told them it was the governor's orders.
Good. My car's parked out front. Bring it around to the side door and wait for me. Make sure nobody's there.
Yes, Mr. Latimer.
Just a minute, Briggs.
You're wasting your breath, Frank. I told you he was working for me. I'll start walking.
Where?
Downstairs to the side door.
What for?
You wanted to know what happened to Lippy Williams, didn't you? Well, here's where you'll find out. By practical demonstration. Start walking. And remember, I'm right behind you with a loaded gun. All clear, Briggs?
Yes, Mr. Latimer. There's not a soul on the ground.
Good. Open the rear door of the car.
Okay.
I'll come over here and give me a hand with the governor.
Where is he?
Right here in the hall. On the floor.
Where? I don't... Uh-oh.
He fell down the stairs.
Oh, yeah?
Did you see what happened, Briggs?
Well, no.
All right. I said he fell down the stairs. Do I have to make myself any clearer?
No, of course not, Mr. Latimer.
Good. Take a seat. I'll take him under the shoulder.
Okay.
Quick. In the car. Wait.
Yes, sir?
Who are those men outside the gates? On Charles Street.
Oh, those. War veterans. Picketing.
This time of night?
Yes, sir. They showed up earlier this evening with big signs reading, Governor Wheeler discriminates against veterans. We were good enough to fight for our country, but not good enough to get jobs. Stuff like that.
Oh. More of those foreign radicals, huh?
Well, they're not all foreigners.
Just as bad if they stand up for them. Wait a minute. Gives me an idea. Put the governor down, Briggs.
You mean right here on the ground?
Yes, right here.
Somebody might show up.
You bet somebody will show up.
But, Mr. Latimer...
Listen, get into my car and drive it back in front of the house.
Back in
Then-
front of the house?
Yes, then...
But I thought you were going to
I
take...
changed my mind. I'll stop interrupting and listen. Park my car in front of the house. Then walk back through the grounds to Charles Street and tell the veterans Governor Wheeler wants to see them. Here, the side door.
Here, but...
Don't ask questions. Just do as I say. Then come upstairs to the library and I'll explain. Hurry up now.
Well, okay, you're the boss.
State Police Barracks, Corporal Wilkes speaking.
This is George Latimer, Corporal. Big George Latimer.
Oh, yes, Mr. Latimer.
I'm afraid Governor Wheeler's in trouble. And you've
bring a detail of your men to the executive mansion at once?
Why, certainly, sir, but what's
No
wrong?
time to explain now, Corporal. Hurry. Come to the side door.
Okay, Mr. Latimer, we'll be right there. Hey, Ross, Hanley, Kane, on the double. Something's wrong at the governor's mansion.
We'll return in a moment with the startling climax of today's episode. So stand by.
Say, gang, you want to remember the number 49, because 49's the number of prizes you can collect from packages of Kellogg's Pep. There's one in every single package. For instance, you can get 7 different colored cardboard models of fighting planes. Easy and fun to assemble. And then there's a great new series of 24 bird pictures, each with a full description to help you identify these birds anywhere you see them. And there are 18 bright-colored comic buttons, each with a famous comic strip character to pin on your beanie cap or your jacket. Now, that makes 49 different prizes you can collect. And that's only a part of the fun in Kellogg's Pep. Think of the good eating fun in those crisp whole wheat flakes, all crammed with keen, catchy flavor. I mean, Pep's sunny golden toasted flavor is famous. Why, Pep is called the Sunshine Cereal. Yes, sir. When it comes to brightening up breakfast, Pep's a terrific hit. So get in on the fun, gang. Ask Mom to bring Kellogg's Pep from the grocer tomorrow. And be sure to look for your prize inside the package.
Except for a light over the night telegrapher's desk and another lighting the relaxed features of a dozing rewrite man, the large city room of the Metropolis Daily Planet is dark and deserted. But Perry White's office is brightly lit as the gray-haired editor and Clark Kent sit tensely, as if waiting for something momentous to happen.
Well, maybe you ought to call the governor, Kent.
No, Chief, Latimer might still be there.
But it's after midnight.
Patience, Chief. Governor Wheeler said he'd call the moment Latimer left.
Okay. Oh, if only this works. You're sure the recording device was okay?
Well, Candy Myers said it was the last time he used it.
Didn't you test it?
I didn't have time. I only had 5 minutes to get from the governor's mansion to Candy's house and back to the Capitol.
What? 5 minutes? But how...
The governor should have called by now. What did you say, Chief?
You said you only had 5 minutes to get from the governor's mansion to Candy Myers' house and back. That's at least 6 miles each way.
Did I say 5 minutes?
You certainly did. You couldn't have made the trip both ways in less than an hour.
Couldn't I?
Of course you couldn't. Now look here, Kent, Oh, what am I wasting time on nonsense for? Oh, what a story this'll be. If you know what you're talking about, I mean.
Don't you worry about that.
Oh, big George Latimer, publicly branded an intolerant hate monger and a murderer. It's almost too good to be true. Oh, why doesn't the governor call? Yes, come in.
Oh, hello, Eddie.
Hi, Mr. Kent. Look, this flash just came in on the teletype, Mr. White. The telegrapher said you and Mr. Kent were still here, so I thought I'd better bring it in to you.
Yeah, let's see it.
Here you go.
Good Godfrey.
What? What is it, Chief?
Well, here, see for yourself, Kent. Look.
Metropolis Police Headquarters reports Governor Frank C. Wheeler is near death.
What? Read the rest of it.
Near death following an attack by several war veterans, all of whom have been captured by state troopers who were called to the scene by Mr. George Latimer. Great Scott, what does this mean?
His eyes bulging, Clark Kent stares at the teletype flash and repeats the startling words.
Governor Frank C. Wheeler near death following attack by war veterans. What can this mean?
For one thing, Clark, it means that Big George Latimer outwitted you, and at the same time dropped another bombshell in his war against the ex-GI's attempt to break his political stranglehold on the state government. Now, how can you prove that Latimer shot Joe Martin, sent Sam Robbins upstate to be lynched, and murdered Lippy Williams, the Clarion reporter, in his vicious campaign to heap fuel on the ever-smoldering fires of bigotry and intolerance? Knowing that Kent is Superman, we can be sure he won't admit defeat to the forces of hate. And Monday he does do something. Something truly amazing that you won't want to miss. So be sure to tune in. Same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at the same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. You know, gang, famous names make history. And Kellogg, the greatest name in cereals, has made history with good breakfast eating for a long time. For example, Kellogg shredded wheat. So crisp, so toasty, so delicious. Tender plump biscuits, 15 of them to a package. That's 15 biscuits crammed with their own natural nut-sweet flavor and made just the right size to fit the bowl. And remember, this is whole wheat, so it's good for you, too. Ask Mom for Kellogg shredded wheat. And be sure to be with us on Monday for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
It's time for a Condensed Bat-Supe Extra Helping, because some stories are so good, they deserve a sequel. This time, we return to Post Street in San Francisco and the office of the detective who holds license number 137596 as he tries to crack a tooth, or at least a case involving one. It's a very special episode of Suspense, featuring Sam Spade as he goes on the trail of the Candy Tooth, in this episode originally broadcast on January 10th, 1948.
Would you hand me that, please? Thank you. Now, let's see. Survey, survive, Susanna, suspect. Here we are. Suspense, meaning held in doubt, expressing doubt, the state of being uncertain, undecided, or insecure, state of anxious expectation or waiting for information, such as to keep one in suspense, therefore delay acquainting him with what he is eager to know. Suspense.
An hour of suspense now, a full 60 minutes at this time, and with the distinguished actor-director Robert Montgomery as your host. Tonight, our star is Howard Duff, famous wherever radio is heard as Sam Spade, detective. And as Spade, he will appear in The Candy Tooth, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed by William Spear.
This is Robert Montgomery. My pleasure and privilege it is to be here during this hour each week as a sort of guide, philosopher, and fiend, an accessory before and after the facts of crime and punishment, which calculatedly fill our minutes with suspense. This evening, before we chat a little about the private life of America's favorite private eye, let me, on behalf of Mr. Spear and all of us, thank you sincerely for your wonderful letters and telegrams expressing appreciation and interest in this new full-hour presentation. It's wonderful fun to have 60 minutes to play with in radio drama. In our new double-strength, king-size format, we plan to bring you radio plays based on complete novels and on theatrical productions and pictures. Many of the best writers of this literature, James M. Cain, Dashiell Hammett, Raymond Chandler, Graham Greene, Eric Ambler, and Agatha Christie, have been happiest with a more spacious canvas upon which to display their characters of passion and purpose. With a full hour for our theater of thrills, we can give these authors a full stage on which to have their people play out their lusts and desires, their temptations and frustrations, their frantic fears and villainous triumphs, their descent into black and terror-laden bewilderment. Sometimes we find ourselves locked in the tortured brain of the scheming criminal. At other times, we know the dread of the hunted and hapless victim. But always the basic ingredient of suspense is not mechanical gadgetry, not the detectival piecing out of fingerprints and convenient clues, but always the basic ingredient is people. For people give us emotion, and emotion marks the high drama that cold logic can never achieve. Nowhere will you find stranger people, motives, and situations than those that pass through the door of a little office in San Francisco's Post Street. The lettering on the door reads, Samuel Spade, Private Investigations. Once it read Spade and Archer, but that was before Miles Archer stopped a bullet and plunged Sam Spade into the greatest detective adventure of modern times, the search for the Maltese Falcon. It was literally a shot heard round the world, for it brought into prominence the name of Dashiell Hammett and the so-called hard-boiled school of crime detection. Since then, the fictional private eye has become a national institution. But Sam Spade still rules the roost. In book sales, in motion pictures, the Maltese Falcon has been filmed 4 times now. And now on the air, every Sunday night, in The Adventures of Sam Spade, starring Howard Duff and produced by our very own Bill Spear. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce to our suspense audience now a young star from my home lot, Universal International, in the role with which he has become so closely identified that most of his fan mail is addressed to Sam Spade. Howard Duff.
Thanks, Bob. I'd like to go on record right now as saying that any checks I may sign with the name Sam Spade will be accepted at your own risk.
The detective business has been pretty good lately, I hear. How much did Sam make during 1947?
Effie would know. But no matter how much it was, it won't change Sam. He'll still do business at the same old stand in a rickety office building on Post Street where the elevator seldom ever works and the janitor never ever works.
As a matter of fact, I got into my Philip Marlowe pants this morning and did little spade work on Spade myself. Don't stop me if I'm wrong, but here are some of the facts. F-A-X, facts. The way I dug them up. Age? Nobody talked. History? Mysterious, but was probably a Pinkerton man to start with. Height? 6 feet and a small chunk. Weight? Enough muscle to go with his height. Hair? Dim-out blonde. Eyes? Yellow-gray. Unmarried. Lives alone in a small furnished apartment within walking distance of his office. Is economical to the point of, never takes a cab where streetcars can get, and has been known to walk where they can't get. Secretary, Effie Perrine. The only person who really knows what makes Sam tick when he wants her to. Otherwise, he's a lonely man who trusts no one, lives alone and loves alone, and expects others to like it. Have I left anything out?
Nothing you left out, Bob. Something you put in. It's not true that I don't trust anybody. I trust everybody. All my clients are honest until I prove them otherwise.
Maybe that's what's kept you in the private eye business all these years.
That and the strong hatred that I have.
Hatred?
Yeah, for time clocks and the hours between 9 and 5. That's why I went into business for myself, and that's what keeps me there.
Then you regard it as a business, Sam, and not as an adventure.
Well, when you break an arm in an adventure, the cost of setting it is not tax deductible. In a business, it is.
Yes, I see. How many cases have you had? And do you think all private dicks are clever?
Well, I've had so many cases I can't remember them all. About being clever, I once knew an operative who, while looking for pickpockets at Santa Anita Racetrack, had his wallet stolen. He later became a lieutenant of detectives in Glendale.
Sam, tell me, what was the most surprising thing that ever happened to you?
The most surprising thing that ever happened to me was in 1936 in Washington, D.C. I met a young lady on a bus who did not remark that my work must be very interesting.
Well, that's very interesting.
Thanks a lot. But I guess my most exciting caper since the Maltese Falcon was the hugger-mugger over the candy tooth. Usually when I wind a caper, I call Effie just to let her know I'm okay before I hustle down to the office to dictate my report to the client. But this time it was 4:30 in the morning before I could get to a phone. The reason was that I was in jail.
Sam Spade Detective Agency.
Wake up, Angel. You're home in bed, not at the office.
Huh? Sam, is that you, Sam?
Mm-hmm.
What time is it?
4:30 in the morning.
Are you up already?
Effie, pull yourself together. Get dressed. Hustle down to the city jail.
Oh, Sam, what happened?
Well, that's what I got to get on the record now while I'm still alive to do it. Grab a taxi and hustle on down. Bring a book, pencils, the encyclopedia that has the letter K in it, and any old $20,000 you got laying around.
Sam, where am I going to get pencils at this hour? Oh, Sam, I hurried just as fast as I could. There was no taxi around. What are you doing in jail?
My apartment's being redecorated. Did you bring your book?
Well, of course I did. And pencils, too. But you're here on a murder charge, Sam. Whatever could have happened
to you? Take it down,
Effie. But, Sam, what did you do?
The San Francisco Homicide Bureau. Attention, Detective Lieutenant Dundee. Date, fill it in.
I will.
From Samuel Spade, license number 1375596. Subject, the candy tooth caper. Dear Dundee, I don't know all the answers, not yet. But what I do know is going down on paper while I'm still alive to get it there.
Oh, Sam.
The scenario runs something like this. This morning, a telegram came to my office. It was addressed to Samuel Spade, Esquire, and it was signed Casper Gutman. Gutman, the fat man. So far as I knew, Dundee, when you closed your books on the Maltese Falcon capers 7 years ago, Gutman was entered as dead. First, I thought the telegram was somebody's idea of a joke. But when I read it through the second time, I knew it was no joke. There's nobody else who thinks or talks or writes like Caspar Gutman.
My dear Mr. Spade, you will no doubt receive with mixed emotions the news of my imminent reappearance in the city of the Golden Gate. Hence the companion dispatch of a telegraphic draft in the amount of $1,000, which you are free to convert into coin of the realm. This trifling sum, sir, is merely a token of my esteem for a man of many resources and nice judgments, and for it I do not require any specific service. However, if you feel so disposed, sir, you are free to accept my considered advice in the matter of an invidious pair of rogues, to wit, one Lawrence Laverne, DDS, and or Hope Laverne, whose charms and aliases are far too myriad to enumerate in this necessarily abbreviated communication. Should either or both of these persons approach you, beware the hidden tooth. Believe me, sir, they are untruthful, unreliable, and totally devoid of all moral sensibilities. I count upon you to make no commitments to them or anyone else until you have heard my proposition. This I hope to lay before you when I arrive in San Francisco this very evening. Dear Joel sends regards. I remain your obedient servant, Caspar Gutman.
Caspar Gutman, the fat man. I know, Dundee, you figured I didn't get hurt much the last time I tangled with Gutman over the Maltese Falcon. But that's because you didn't know Bridget O'Shaughnessy as well as I did. As well or as warmly. Well, I figured if Gutman was still in the land of the living, let him come. This time I wasn't going to get hurt in any way. There couldn't be two Bridgets. Nevertheless, I ate a can of spinach, which I found on Effie's desk. Then I sat down again, facing the door. Nothing much happened for almost 10 minutes. I was still trying to dig the meaning out of Gutman's double talk, and I'd gotten about as far as his warning about a hidden tooth when Effie ushered a man into my office.
Mr. Spade. Well, I must say that you are indeed a pleasant surprise, but pleasant.
You've said it. What can I do for you?
My name is Laverne. Lawrence Laverne.
How do you do?
I shall spare you the tiresome details and plunge right into the problem. Oh, dear. At the Hotel Royal George, there is a mildewed creature, but mildewed, registered as Mr. Herman Julius. Oh, a really frightful person.
Very frightful, huh?
Oh, the kiss of death department. The only thing about this creature that has any charm is a four-toothed lower bridge in his right jaw. Now, Mr. Spade, I want you to get that bridge for me.
I'm sorry. It sounds as though you're saying I want you to get that bridge for me.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Because he refuses to pay me for it.
You're, a dentist?
I prefer to regard myself as a dentist sculpturer. I created this bridge for Mr. Julius with infinite pains, and now he refuses to pay me. I ask payment, and he accuses me of acting without charm.
Mr. Julius wouldn't happen to be a very large, fat man?
Oh, contraire. Skin and bones. Well, Mr. Spade?
I'm afraid you come to the wrong man, Mr. Laverne. What you want is a lawyer to sue him.
Sue him? Months of legal wrangling? Oh, no. Oh, no. I intend to be vindictive about this. I am by nature a very gracious and charming person. But now let him beware. I shall have that bridge from Herman Julius, even if you must knock him down and wrench it from his jaw.
Uh-huh. You tried knocking him down yourself?
Oh, I could never even bring myself to perform extractions. I always send those patients to less sensitive dentists.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid you'll have to find yourself a less sensitive private detective.
Oh, dear. Well, Mr. Spade, what would you advise me to do?
Mr. Laverne, I would advise you to get out of California before Walt Disney sees you.
Well, good day, sir. I would like very much to have you in my chair someday. Might teach you some manners.
Beware the hidden truth.
Hello.
Hello. Please sit down, Miss...
Thank you. Laverne. Hope Laverne.
Miss Laverne?
Yes.
What can I do for you?
Well, I'm looking for my brother.
Missing?
Well, yes and no. I mean, he's been gone since yesterday, and I'm terribly afraid he'll get into trouble.
Oh? What kind of trouble?
Well, you see, it just isn't easy for me to talk about this, Mr. Spade.
Well, now, Miss Laverne, suppose you just lean back in that chair, close your eyes, and...
Yes, thank you. Yes, it's easier like this.
I thought you'd like.
My brother's name is Lawrence. He's a man of 52. He's not well. I mean, he gets spells, and he acts peculiarly. He suffered a nervous breakdown some years ago, and he spent most of his life in sanitariums.
Where are you from, Miss Laverne?
Kansas City. During the past year, Larry was in a rest home in Palo Alto, and I arrived 2 days ago to take him home. Yesterday morning, Well, I don't know how it happened, but he's gone.
These spells you mentioned, what are they like?
Oh, well, he assumes different personalities. His favorite seems to be that of a dentist. He becomes obsessed by the thought that he's done some work, a bridge or something, for someone who refuses to pay him. He'll walk up to a perfect stranger and create a scene. He's been arrested a few times, nothing serious, public nuisance. Mr. Spade, I'm afraid that he'll be put away if he's arrested once more.
I see, and you want me to look for him.
Then he hasn't been here?
Why'd you think he'd come here?
Oh, that's another one of his tactics. He goes to a private detective, hires him to either follow a man or get back the work he thinks he's done. Dental work, you know.
But what made you think he'd come to me?
Oh, well, not you, particularly. But since yesterday, I've tried almost every private detective in San Francisco. No one has seen him.
Who'd you talk to?
I beg your pardon?
These private detectives, who'd you see?
Oh. Well, there was a man named Graham and one named Marlowe, Philip Marlowe.
Excuse me. Would you like a drink?
No. Thank you.
Marlowe speaking.
That's Spade, Phil.
Hiya, Sam.
Phil, you got a rumble on a missing brother named Larry Laverne?
Yeah. Gal was in early this morning. Brother's some kind of a screwball.
You meet him?
No, hasn't been around yet.
Thanks, Phil. See you.
Why did you do that, Mr. Spade?
It's doing things like that have kept me alive and in business all these years. That was Marlowe. Your brother hasn't been to him.
I told you that.
But your brother has been here.
When?
A few minutes before you came in. Can't see how you missed him.
What did he tell you, Mr. Spade?
Pretty much as you outlined it.
About the dental work. And some man owing him money.
Yeah, some man named Julius. Herman Julius, he said. You know him?
I never heard of him. He's probably just another figment of Larry's imagination. Mr. Spade, I'm terribly worried about Larry.
I got that impression.
Will you try to find him for me?
Can you give me any idea where I might start looking?
Well, I think I know how Larry's mind works when he's in the midst of one of these spells, and if you find this Mr. Julius, you'll probably find Larry close by.
So you want me to find Mr. Julius first?
Oh, well, I only thought it would be simpler checking on this Mr. Julius' movements than on Larry's unpredictable whims, you see. Don't you think that makes good sense, Mr. Spade?
Miss Laverne told me she was staying at the Pickwick Arms, and I said I would call her if I found her brother, and she said, thank you very much, and I said, it's nothing, just part of the day's routine, and then she kissed me and left. After lunch, I strolled over to the Royal George Hotel. Duke, the housekeeper, gave me a rundown on Mr. Julius, a quiet, nervous little man who'd sealed himself up in his room for 2 days, eating out of room service. I didn't have any trouble finding the hacky who'd driven him away when he checked out. He gave me the address, and 20 minutes later, I was mounting the front steps of a greasy rooming house on Sacramento Street. I twisted the rusty bell on the door, and a long, sharp nose that could only belong to a landlady stabbed out at me.
What you want?
I'm looking for a man named Herman Julius.
Don't have no Julius here.
Well, maybe he gave some other name. A little skinny guy with a foreign accent.
You the Lord?
Take me to his room.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Now. Well, step inside. Up the stairs.
He home?
Never seen him go out. Ain't but one door. Watch that step second from the top. It's busted. Don't want no lawsuits.
It's the third.
Said he was a refuge. And Nazis was after him. Another flight. Never knew he was in a tangle with the Lord. Smell that?
Certainly do.
Cooking in the rooms. I got a rule, too. Sneaking electric plates, they do. Runs up the bills. Buzzards. Here's his room. Mr. Julius! Mr. Julius! Mr. Julius, you second there? They drink, some of them. Them that don't cook in their rooms, they drink. Get DT, some of them. Oh, go on in and get him. I don't want no part of it. Oh, these things.
I didn't see who it was right away. His face was the color and consistency of crushed strawberries. I helped him up and over to the wash basin in the corner of the room. With his face washed, he looked a little better, but he still looked like Larry Laverne.
Oh, am I ever glad to see you. I thought it was them coming back to kill me.
Did you find Julius?
No, got away with the wretch down the fire escape as I came in.
Who did this to you, a big fat man?
To tell the honest truth, Mr. Spade, I never even got a good look at him. He was all over me before
Who's
I even
Julius? What's in his bridge work?
I'll tell you everything, but please, first, let's get out of this horrid room. Oh, it smells like cabbage.
Larry Laverne was tougher than he looked. After the going over he'd gotten, you or I would have been hospital-bound, Dundee. But he did a late take. We were on the way back to his hotel, walking toward Market, when he crumpled in the middle like a sack of flour. I grabbed him and held him upright, looked wildly around for somewhere to park him. We were standing in front of a newsreel theater. I bought 2 tickets and piloted him inside. We sat down. I undid his clutch in my arm and concentrated on the screen. The subject that followed the football game was some big Oriental celebration somewhere in India or someplace. A very fancy parade with white elephants.
Kandy,
Raj, and all
Ceylon,
the rest
the
of it.
famed white elephants of the Orient, get their annual airing as crowds of devout Buddhists gather to do homage to some of the strangest relics in the modern world. Here in Kandy, the Mecca of the Buddhist religion, pilgrims gather from near and far. Indian Rajas, Burmese officials, and Chinese dignitaries in ceremonial dress prostrate themselves before the jeweled casket containing the most sacred object of the Buddhist world, legendary relic of Buddha himself. As the Orient goes wild in jubilant celebration, temple dancers of Kandy perform for the crowned heads of the Orient.
Take me out of here. I can't stand it, Uncle Man. I tell you, sock-raving man.
Take it easy. You're annoying the customers.
You brought me in here on purpose. You're trying to drive me crazy, but crazy.
Easy.
Listen to me.
2 men holding up the sacred relics are high priests.
If that man says that one word, Kandy, just once more, I won't be responsible. I tell you, I won't be responsible.
All right, Larry.
Take me out of here.
End, but the end. Now you got me doing it. Come on, let's get out of
An impressive
here.
ceremony indeed.
I promise you, Mr. Spade, all I need is just one night's sleep and I'll be a new man.
Yeah.
Why, I haven't even dared to take 40 winks since I arrived in this town for fear those monsters might murder me in my bed.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. Sit down.
So this is your apartment?
That's what I laughingly call it. Living room, bedroom, icebox. Here, have a drink. Me too.
Oh, thanks. Oh, did I ever need that?
Help yourself to the bottle.
I don't touch alcohol as a rule, but after what I've been through...
Well, now, drink all you like. You deserve it.
Oh, thank you. Well, I hardly know where to begin. It's all so strange. And there I was in Lisbon, Mr. Spade, the only English-speaking dentist worthy of the name in the entire diplomatic colony. Well, you must have read in the papers about Dom Constantino's tomb being violated. It was the scandal of the season. Oh, it's all so horrible, Mr. Spade. I just can't talk about it.
Here, try a little more of this. Settles the nerves.
Oh, I just don't know how I can ever thank you. Ever since I hit this burg, I've been feeling like the forgotten... Pardon, man.
Yeah, you were saying something about a tomb being broken into. In Portugal, this was?
Yes. Well, you know, the draft board just took one look at me.
I know what you mean.
So I just stayed on in Lisbon. And, well, you know how people gossip, having patients of all nationalities and all that, you know?
Yeah, I get it. Between the Nazis and the Allies, you were quite a social line.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Don't get the idea I was a spy. Oh, no. But sometimes people had things that could be hidden in a hollow tooth, and like that, bridge work, you know? I think I told you I'm not so much a dentist as a dental artist.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that fat Mr. Gutman brought me this tooth, you see.
Gutman?
Yes, Mr. G and that Joel Cairo person that was with him. Well, they brought me this tooth. Oh, a horrid yellow old thing, practically a fang. They wanted to put in Mr. Julius' bridge. Paid me £1,000, can you imagine? Then when I learned what they had done, well, it made me positively ill. This practically sacred old tomb in the cathedral, they'd broken in and literally torn out a piece of his jawbone.
Whose?
Why, Dom Constantino's.
And who's Dom Constantino?
Oh, the Portuguese viceroy. It didn't hurt him any. He's been dead 500 years if he's dead a day. Ooh. Oh, dear. I'm as tight as a tick. This liquor is getting to me.
And it was. I thought he'd open up some more, but I overplayed the bourbon. Half a bottle later, he passed out. I flopped on the sofa and tried to get some sleep for myself, but my dreams kept getting in the way. I had newsreel dreams in Technicolor. I dreamed that a white elephant with a face like Casper Gutman was leading a parade down Market Street. The howdah that was strapped to his back looked like a dentist chair. Herman Julius was sitting in it, but this face seemed to be blanked out. Joel Cairo, wearing a surgeon's gown and a turban, was drilling Julius's tooth. The crowds were throwing diamonds and rubies from the peanut bags they were carrying, and Gutman vacuumed them up with his trunk. That was when the bells started ringing in the Buddhist temple that had been built on top of the Mark Hopkins. Yeah.
Mr. Spade.
Yeah?
Mr. Spade, I need your help.
Who's this?
Hope Laverne, please, Mr. Spade. I'm terrified.
Where are you?
I'm in a drugstore at 5th and Mission.
Near the bus depot?
Yes, please, come at once, Mr. Spade.
Well, can't you come here?
I can't. I don't dare go into the street.
All right. Wait there. I'm on my way. I took a quick gander at Laverne, saw he was still out cold, slipped into my topcoat, and left the apartment. I figured it would take me 11 minutes to hustle over to 5th and Mission. But I never got any further than 50 yards from the front of my building. I sensed him behind me, wheeled suddenly, bumped him into a doorway, held the thumbs of his hands gripped tightly in my fists. Stand still or I'll tear him off.
Let go. I'll kill you.
Don't move and it won't hurt.
You filthy beast.
The boy twisted suddenly and violently, and I heard the crack of his left thumb breaking. He swallowed a scream, dashed on into the deserted street. I went after him, turned into the alley, and caught the butt of a gun behind my right ear. I don't know how long I was out, but I do know I came to at least 3 hours too soon. I needed much more rest. I opened my eyes, steadied a swaying ceiling, and then I heard his voice.
Well, sir, this is indeed a jolly reunion.
It couldn't be, but it was. Casper Gutman, the fat man of the Maltese Falcon caper. Looking at the unholy trio there in the room, Joel Cairo, the little Levantine, still as oily and smiling as ever and still fragrant. Marvin, a sullen, white-faced, hollow-eyed youth as near Wilmer's double as anyone will ever see. And Gutman, spruce as ever in his black cutaway coat, black vest, and gray-striped trousers. You'd have thought nothing had happened since then, not even the war. The grayness at Cairo's temples only made his baby face look more babyish. And about Gutman, nothing was different except his watch chain. A curious jewel-encrusted ornament dangled from it, shaped like a claw.
You seem surprised to see me, sir. And no wonder. It's always disconcerting to encounter a ghost, especially such a substantial ghost. A lot of water has gone under the bridge since last we met, eh?
Under the bridge?
Yes, which brings us to the subject at hand, the bridge.
My head aches. What about the bridge?
First, we'll talk of it. After all, this is quite an occasion, sir. Reunion of old friends, eh, Mr. Spade?
Yeah. Tell me, did you ever find the Falcon? If you'll excuse the expression.
Oh. Your eyes are resting on all that remains of that fabulous bird, sir.
Yes, that trinket on his watch chain. All that remains of the Maltese Falcon.
Well, mark you, sir, what part of it survived. The claw. You believe in omens?
Right now, I'm ready to believe almost anything.
Indeed, sir. Well, no need for dissembling. We're old and wiser, I trust, than in the days of the Falcon. Suffice it to say, the unsavory and bloated object which the police dredged up from San Francisco Bay and identified as myself was some other poor soul. Wilmer, I am happy to say, remembered the debt of gratitude he owed me, and at the last moment agreed to be a party to the very necessary little deception. That is, since they had him cold, as you detectives say, for the other killings, he might as well confess to murdering me. He did so in exchange for my agreement to take care of his family in a financial way. An investment, by the way, which has paid rich dividends.
How's that?
Oh, indeed. Oh, well, thanks to it, I now have Marvin, Wilma's younger brother.
I thought I noticed a family resemblance.
Shut up. Oh, yes, poor Wilma. He was like a son to me, like a son.
Well, it didn't stop you from making him a patsy.
I detest killing Mr. Spade. I cautioned Wilma time and again. But he was so headstrong. A mere boy.
You better caution this punk or he won't last to take any raps for you.
Break his head wide open.
Marvin.
That dirty shamus lays another hand on me. I'll kill him.
No, Marvin. Sure, take Marvin into the other room. Explain to him that Mr. Spade and I are very old friends.
Casper knows best, Marvin. Come with
And now, no nonsense, you two now.
Someday I'll kill him, Shamus. Marvin, Casper will be angry.
Oh, dear. Hot-headed. Runs in that family.
Yeah. Well, let's have it, Gutman. What are you after this time?
My dear boy, you must judge me. It's true I had Marvin check up on you, but only because of your association with Miss Laverne. No matter now. I'm weary of the chase. All the way from Candy, What did the girl tell you?
She asked me to find her brother, a dentist named Laverne.
You believed her story?
No.
Most unscrupulous woman. No veracity, no regard for truth whatsoever. Her true motive? Merely to make trouble for me and my friends because of her association with Kemidov. Aye, the Russian's hand again, Mr. Spade.
Kemidov? Did I ever meet Kemidov?
You'd hardly forget if you had. In short, here is my proposition. Another $1,000, coin of the realm, sir, for which you will refund whatever money Miss Laverne gave you and send her packing.
The bidding starts at $10,000.
Ooh. You drive a hard bargain, Mr. Spade. Very well. I'll meet your turn.
I told you the bidding starts there.
And where does it stop?
Half or whatever the caper nets you. I deliver Julius, you do the rest.
Well, between you and me, Mr. Spade, I'm not as affluent as I once was. The Falcon pretty well wiped me out financially. Considering the time and money I've already invested in trying to track down the weasel Julius.
What's in Julius's bridge work?
And if I don't choose to tell you?
Then it's no dice. Think it over, Gutman. Either I'm in all the way for half, or I deliver Julius to the other outfit.
And that is your final dictum, sir?
Take it or leave it. Either you're in or you're out.
Good night, Mr. Spade. I trust you will call me on the telephone when you reach your diggings and tell me that you've changed your mind. No hard feelings.
The fog was clearing, and only a few white wisps of it were clinging to Twin Peaks when I walked home that morning. It was too late to worry about Hope. Or did she phone for Gutman to decoy me out so that I started walking faster? As I climbed the stairs to my apartment, I heard a door open on the landing, and the slot of light that stabbed out from it showed me it was my door. The light came from behind, whoever had opened it, and I couldn't see who it was at first, only that it was not Larry Laverne. I took the last flight 4 steps at a time.
Hello, Sam.
Dundee, what's happened?
Come in and see for yourself.
What I saw for myself, I wish somebody else had seen for me. Hysterical Larry was lying on his back on my bedroom floor. His eyes were wide open, and he had a crooked grin on his face. A very crooked grin. Whoever had killed him had wrenched his jaw out of place.
I'm not saying you killed him, Sam. I'm only asking you who did.
Don't be a child, Dundee.
Why was he killed?
No statement.
What was he doing here? Who is he?
The name he gave was Laverne. I let him flop here because he was afraid to go home.
Afraid of who?
A man named Casper Gutman.
What?
Yeah, Gutman.
Quit stalling, Sam. Gutman's dead and you know it.
You bury him, Dundee?
Sam, I believe you mean it.
Where Gutman's concerned, it doesn't pay to kid around.
What's he after now?
The bridge work out of a man's mouth. The man's name is Julius.
What's in this Julius bridge work? Maltese Falcon?
Something like that.
I'm sorry, Sam. That's not good enough. I'll have to take you in.
So you took me and you booked me. Bail was set at $20,000. You saw to that. You figure there's only one operator who'd put up that kind of money to spring me, and that's Casper Gutman. I hope you're right. Period. And the first part, at least, of Sob Story.
But, Sam, what is in Herman Julius's bridge work?
Laverne told me it was a tooth Gutman stole out of a skeleton in an old Portuguese catacomb.
What's so valuable about that?
I don't know.
Could be a jewel inside of it?
No, it's not Gutman's kind of game. Besides, the thing that made poor Laverne blow his top in that newsreel theater was something more like an elephant tusk.
Oh.
Where's that encyclopedia? Did you bring it?
Oh, yes, I did, Sam. Yes, I did. Wasn't I smart?
Look it up.
Look what up?
Candy with a K.
Oh. K, Ka, Oh, here it is. Candy. Okay, not funny. City. Capital of Central Province of Ceylon, located near the center of the island north...
Spare me the geography.
Well, the railroad from Colombo. Noted for its waterfalls and stuff. The city surrounds an artificial lake and is sacred to Buddhists for its temple of Maligawa, which enshrines the tooth of Buddha brought, according to legend...
What? Let me see that.
Don't grab.
Let me see, it's sacred to Buddhists for its temple of Maligawa, which enshrines it. Effie.
What's the matter, Sam?
The tooth of Buddha.
Sam, you don't think that's what's in Herman Julius's bridge work?
If it was, Gutman would be after him.
But how did he get to Portugal?
If it did, Gutman's the man that could track it down.
Sam, you sure of that?
No, Angel. No. The only thing I am sure of is this. When the Maltese falcon laid an egg, it hatched a flock of vultures, and they're all circling right around my head.
Well, cheer up, Sam. You won't be in jail long. I'll bring you a cake with a file in it.
Angel.
No, devil's food.
In tonight's full hour of suspense, Howard Duff, our star, appears as Sam Spade, with Joseph Kearns as Caspar Gutman, in William Spear's production of The Candy Tooth. Tonight's study in suspense.
In just a moment, we will return with the second half of The Candy Tooth. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
That wraps up this episode of Condensed Bat-Supe, featuring 2 more chapters of George Latimer, Crooked Political Boss, from The Adventures of Superman. Thanks for listening. Be sure to tell your friends to subscribe to Bat-Supe on their favorite podcatcher. We can also be found on YouTube and Facebook. We'll see you next time for another exciting edition of Condensed Bat-Supe as we bring you more of George Latimer, Crooked Political Boss, and the conclusion of The Candy Tooth. Until then, up, and away!
We're a little late, so good night, folks.